Randburg, a bustling melting pot in Joburg's northern suburbs. For migrants from countries like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi, the city is a place of dreams, a symbol of a better life. They travel here in their thousands, hoping to escape the poverty they were born into. Beneath this shiny exterior is a dark underworld, a place where human beings are smuggled, exploited, and trafficked, just like any other commodity. And it's all happening right here, hidden in plain sight.
It's not a breaking of a house, it's not a hijack, it's a high-priority crime against human beings.
I mean, buying airtime is more difficult in Randburg than getting a woman.
I don't think she was going to arrive. If we weren't on duty that day, I don't think today she would be alive.
In the past, we've done so many stories on the victims of human trafficking, but this time, we're squarely focused on the people behind the scenes, the ones that make it happen, the transporters. These are the shadowy figures, elusive and opportunistic, who traffic people across our land borders. So we've been filming Undercover for several days now, and our guy says he's finally ready to meet us. So he's going to bring us the footage and tell us what he's seen and what he's heard. But you managed to see something.
I managed to see lots of things.
Really?
Lots of things that I couldn't believe with my naked eyes.
Our investigation begins after a tip-off from an anonymous source. We're told long-haul bus companies traveling from Malawi to South Africa are being used as fronts by the transporters. What's a transporter?
A transporter, before, it used to be a person who could transport goods from South Africa to a destination like Malawi, Zimbabwe. But now a transporter is a person who transports a human being.
It's a secret world, a place where outsiders aren't welcome. To get them on camera, we send in an undercover agent to speak to some of the bus operators in the Randburg CBD. At a company called 𝗵𝗶𝘶, he meets this man, 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝗆𝗆. Our agent tells 𝗀𝗁cie he wants to bring a minor child, a young girl, to South Africa from Malawi.
Yeah, so nakhumba ngokuthi kamwana kizikuno mayimngalinchibangani 6 years.
Not interested in why the child would be brought here, 𝗀𝗁cie asks about her travel documents. Apparently suspicious of our agent, 𝗀𝗁cie initially says no, but soon he's making phone calls. He contacts a woman called Angela and puts her on speakerphone for our agent to talk to. Angela agrees to the deal and negotiates a price with our agent.
Okay, yeah, even if another go to Musgana, Mungaberega
5,500.
She says our agent should hand the money to 𝗀𝗁cie.
5,500.
Yeah.
Bye.
This transaction is based on a fiction. There is no girl traveling from Malawi, not this time. But it's a chilling insight into how easy it is to traffic children into a life of horror.
So currently, most of the cases in the courts are child trafficking.
Child trafficking
yes.
into South Africa. Pastor, author, and activist 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘆 is the founder of Brave to Love, a non-profit organization assisting the victims of human trafficking. She's a believer in boots on the ground, often accompanying police and government agencies on raids.
Follow that truck because that truck is going to take you. Yeah, you must get your papers now. Are they now going to send you back to Zimbabwe?
Smuggling becomes trafficking when the person brought across our borders is exploited for the financial gains of traffickers, like being forced into the sex trade in the case of many women and children, or manual labor for men.
So is the trafficking what happens on the arrival and smuggling the journey?
The exploitation needs to take place. So the smuggling happens, but there needs to be an exploitation that takes place against a human being for the purpose of money. Most victims are trafficking to the commercial sex trade, but we do have labor trafficking and other cases, organ trafficking, different forms of trafficking.
This man is a social worker and part of Emma's team. He's asked us to hide his identity, so we'll call him Mr. X. In November last year, he was asked to assist the police after they stopped and searched a bus on the N1 highway.
It was coming from Zimbabwe. It had different migrants from different countries, including Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe.
Horrifyingly, a young girl was found hidden in the bus's luggage compartment.
She was in the luggage compartment?
Yes.
In a box?
In a box, and that's how they pulled her out.
Don't cry.
It's okay, Bob. It's okay.
This footage of the 10-year-old girl was captured just moments later.
She had a bag of clothes, no food, no water. I asked her when was the last time she ate. She said it was last night. I asked for her passport. It was not stamped. So my question was, how did she cross the border?
It was claimed the little girl's mother had sent her from Zimbabwe to her father in South Africa, something he later denied. In fact, she was being accompanied by a suspected transporter.
You think she really was going to her dad?
I don't think she was going to arrive. If we weren't on duty that day, I don't think today she would be alive.
The transporter was arrested on the same day, and the child later released into her father's custody.
He is a social worker, okay? He's here to look after you and make sure you're okay, okay? You're safe, okay? Nothing's gonna happen to you, okay? We're gonna look after you, you're safe, okay?
So this bus has just arrived from Malawi. The people here say they took about 3 days via Mozambique, then Zimbabwe, and across the border into South Africa.
The buses arrive at this open-air parking lot in central Randburg, within walking distance of the offices of operators like Matours. The area around the drop-off point is littered with rubbish. It's a chaotic scene. As people arrive and the buses and trucks are loaded with goods to be sent back across the border, others are offloaded with belongings that have been brought into the country.
These are not just ordinary commuters. Among them are people who've been smuggled and others who are being trafficked.
Either way, it's exploitation of the poorest of the poor on a grand scale. Charles Lahunga came here legally from Malawi almost 2 decades ago. Today, his organization, Fuller Africa, aims to raise awareness around human trafficking.
Especially on Malawians, is we are told wrong stories to come back to South Africa.
Like what?
South Africa is good, South Africa is beautiful. Then
So what usually happens?
going into jobs that you're not even supposed to do. Some women go into sex that they couldn't even like it.
How much would you expect to pay for a human being? R1 million? $500,000? It's much less. On these streets, life is cheap.
To find out, we send our undercover agent into the bus stop with a hidden camera. He's introduced to this woman, 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝗆𝗆. Our agent tells Rachel he wants a woman from Malawi. She responds that she's returning home the next day and can get him one. It's as simple as that. Rachel even refers to the potential victim as your baby. While discussing the price, Rachel lets slip that the woman will probably be smuggled across the border.
Whatever you need, you can find it there. I mean, buying airtime is more difficult in Randburg than getting a woman.
Our investigation into the transporters uncovered more than just their involvement in the smuggling of living human beings. Apparently, they are also making money from the dead.
Month end is a busy time in the Randburg CBD, with people doing their shopping. But you'll also find thousands of Malawians right here. But they're not buying food or clothes. They're paying for their funeral policies.
Our agent captures these scenes at month's end. Thousands of people gathered around the bus stop and outside the offices of the bus operators. When the streets become too crowded, the masses spill into nearby public parks. Malawians in South Africa gather here once a month to pay the people they refer to as the funeral societies.
The person wanted a job, but when he arrives in South Africa, he's told you need to join a society. And those societies referred to them as funeral policies that are not even registered anywhere.
It's a very informal system, with people handing over between 100 and 200 rands in cash to representatives of the various societies. In return, their names are written in a book, and in the event of their death, they're promised their bodies will be taken home.
From the government sources, it's quite alarming numbers of death per month, from 80s to hundreds.
No one knows how many of them fell prey to traffickers. Globally, only 1 in 100 victims is ever identified according to statistics. The funeral societies seem to be raking in the cash, but what are people getting in return?
Families back home, they've reported that doing body viewing that side when the bodies have reached, you cannot do body viewing because the bodies are in a very bad state.
Perhaps that's because some of the bodies are leaving South Africa for the 3-day trip to Malawi, packed only in caskets on the backs of unrefrigerated trailers like these. This footage is from 𝗀𝗃𝗀 Funeral Services, north of Joburg.
The smell of dead bodies there, because I could feel the smell of dead bodies.
When our agent visits them, he finds a Malawian family who've come to view the body of a relative. They're accompanied by this man, who our agent recognizes as a transporter.
A transporter from the CBD.
Transporter from the Randburg CBD.
But what would transporters be doing at a funeral home? It was time to visit 𝗀𝗃𝗀 ourselves. When we arrive, we're met by an employee, Tinos Manzunzu.
Well, the bodies are arriving in a very bad state in Malawi.
Okay.
The relatives are complaining about how they're arriving.
Yeah.
That they're not even able to open the caskets.
Mostly, what happens, some bodies come here rotten already.
Owner 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘀 arrives shortly afterwards. He tells us the bad smell our agent described may have been from decomposing bodies like the ones they'd recently received.
These bodies are already decomposed. They came one.
What, the documents that you have here?
They came one. Yesterday.
Yesterday you got decomposed bodies.
Exactly.
𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘀 tells us 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝘃 is only responsible for embalming and storing the corpses.
The other reason that we came here is that they're alleging that the bodies are not kept cold. So we had to come in here for ourselves from the business.
We've got the fridges.
They offer to show us their storage facilities, and everything seems to be in order. But guess who they say makes money from delivering corpses in putrid conditions to relatives back home? The same people exploiting the poor and vulnerable along every step of the way.
The transporters, they've got their own transporters. Sometimes it takes about 7 days from here to Malawi. The family of which is in Malawi, they will find the bodies rotten.
Our next stop is Matua's in Randburg, where we find 𝗀𝗁cie back on duty.
You own this company?
No, I don't own. I'm just working.
Why is this company being used to smuggle children across the border?
On that issue, I can lie because I don't know that issue.
No, you must know about it. You're the one. You are facilitating the smuggling of children without documentation over the border.
When we show him the hidden camera footage, he suddenly changes his tune.
Yeah, this is me.
That's you?
Yeah. We don't know each other. I cannot.
And yet you gave him the number of someone to organize for the transport of a child without paperwork. For smuggling, my brother. You'll just sit there in your chair, smiling. It's not good enough, my brother.
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I don't understand why you're looking so disappointed in yourself.
Yeah, because I had no idea what was going on. And from the island...
You're lying. You know exactly what's going on. You're lying. You knew exactly who to call to get the child across.
We search for 𝗀𝗁𝗃𝗵𝗀, but apparently she's back in Malawi. So we phone her.
You are a transporter from Malawi, ne?
No.
Yes, you are, Rachel. We've got you on camera. You were on hidden camera footage. We recorded you. Yes, Rachel.
A story as dark as this one holds a stark lesson. We have a long way to go to end the scourge of human trafficking, if that's even possible.
The Trafficking in Persons Global Report gives a yearly report on what South Africa is doing, and we've been downgraded once again last year.
Really?
And we haven't got the TIP report for this year, but last year we were downgraded again because we're not even reaching the standard of what we need to reach in fighting human trafficking.
As of today, there are no reliable statistics available for the scale of the problem in the country. How many victims are out there right now remains anyone's guess.